All right, the big story of the hour, there has been an anti-encroachment drive that was carried out by the Municipal Corporation of Delhi near Faiz-e-Ilahi Mosque in Delhi's Ram Leela Maidan. This happened earlier today. The demolition drive on the land adjoining the mosque and a nearby graveyard at Turkman Gate turned violent even as clashes erupted, leading to 5 police personnel sustaining injuries. 5 persons were detained following the incident. The Delhi police said that tear gas shells had been used to disperse the crowd, adding that the normalcy was restored shortly after the incident. The demolition was supposed to begin at 8 a.m. It, however, got delayed and started at 1:30 p.m. A video circulating among residents groups in the neighborhood showed bulldozers and earth movers raising parts of a mosque as companies of police personnel kept watch. All right, let's open up this discussion. Joining me on the telecast is SP Ved. He's a former DGP. Sir, with regards to this unfortunate incident that has taken place, a lot of confusion and chaos, perhaps because, in one of the reports, it's being said that, there were rumors that were floating, videos that were being circulated, that the mosque itself was being demolished and the graveyard was being demolished, and people came out in large numbers, and these rioters destroyed public property and even attacked the police and the MCD officials. Not just that, there has now been justifications that have been given by certain political parties in the opposition, saying that because there was a rumor that was spread, and since the people were being misled and told that there's a mosque that is being destroyed, it was an obvious reaction to what has happened to the policemen, meaning that the stone pelting was an obvious reaction and people should not be surprised. How do you react to this?
Good evening to you and to your viewers and my co-panelists. See, nothing can justify stone pelting. This is just giving cover fire, whether it is rumor mongering or whatever. I think in India, wherever there is a issue, rumor mongering takes place, and the agencies concerned, including the police and the municipal corporation, should clarify and take proactive action to cut any kind of rumor mongering and social media campaigns misleading the people. Fine, that much is okay, but then you resort to stone pelting, injuring policemen. Number of policemen, Delhi policemen, I was listening to the Joint Commissioner, how many of the policemen have been injured. After the court order, there is absolutely no justification. You don't believe in the law of this country. You, in fact, you had taken all recourses to law in spite of all your pretexts. Once the honorable court had given the judgment that it is illegal and it must be this is on the government land, encroachment needs to be removed, and police comes as a protection to the municipal corporation's drive. So what justification is there to resort to stone pelting, injuring and killing policemen? The government property is damaged. This is I think, strictest possible action should be taken against such people, and I'm glad that Delhi police is doing that. They registered an FIR and they arrested, I think, 5 of them, and others will also face the wrath of the law.
Okay. Major Mohammad Ali Shah, there at this point in time are conflicting narratives that are being put forth. While the Municipal Corporation of Delhi says that the demolition took place, there was a diagnostic center that had been illegally erected in that area near the mosque and the graveyard, and there was a banquet hall that had also been constructed, and they were raised while the authorities, the committee members of the mosque are of the opinion, and this is what they are saying, that there was no physical structure that had been erected. It was a vacant lawn, that in a park basically, which was being provided to those who wanted to organize weddings or other functions. It was a barren plot of land is what the committee members of the mosque are saying. Now, why has this issue emerged in terms of the conflict of, I mean, the facts remain, facts remain facts. How can you dispute facts?
Right, Megha. Firstly, I would like to condemn the stone pelting incident. As the former DGP, Mr. SP, well rightly said, that stone pelting cannot be justified anywhere on anyone, irrespective of what. No one has the right to take law in their hands. No one. Be it police personnel, be it a civilian, no one can take law. No one above the law, firstly. Secondly, about rumor mongering. Well, rumor mongering is something which has to be straight away curbed, condemned. Look at Manipur. It all started with fake news, with rumor mongering. It's still burning. Rumor mongering is something which is very, very dangerous for society. Thirdly, I would like to say that, whatever we understand that the Delhi government is on a demolition drive and they have been court orders. Similarly, when I say no one has the right to take law in the hands, one has to wait for the court orders, one has to decide where the demolition has to be done, what. Fourthly, whatever the illegal structures are there, how were they allowed to be constructed in the first place? I don't understand. It should have been nipped in the bud then and there. Any illegal construction anywhere should be allowed, should not be allowed, should be straight away
Right.
nipped in the bud. Now, secondly, and fifth point, I would say, the DCP Central, Nitin Walson, he had said that five police personnel were injured, and I feel very bad for that. The very fact that the five personnel of Delhi police have been injured, people must understand. My advice to people over there who are protesting or anywhere who would protest is the police personnel or the MCD workers are the employees are only doing their job. They are doing what has been told to them, what has been instructed to them,
Right.
and I
But then,
understand the fact.
Major Alisha,
Yeah.
isn't it sad, gut wrenching that in a country like India, where all religions are allowed to prosper with dignity, with the honor that they should be, there are these unfortunate incidents, rioting, stone pelting, destruction of property. Whenever there is a matter of a mosque or a temple that comes into the picture.
Megha, it is very unfortunate that, on the name of religion, Karl Marx had once said that religion is the opium of the masses. On the name of religion, people construct figures, they encroach roads, irrespective of whatever the place of worship could be. It could be a temple, it could be a mosque, it could be anything. I mean, a road would be encroached, but no one would dare to say anything against it because it's a place of worship. So now, these kind of things where you encroach upon any land, it can be any place of worship. It should not be allowed, because once it's allowed, thereafter it becomes the practice of people going there and worshipping and such things. And then when you decide to take corrective action, by that time it leads to a situation like this, and which is very, very unfortunate, very, very sad. So, I'll share a small incident with you. In one very, very popular university, there was a problem of people spitting on the wall somewhere. Someone said, "Okay, let's do one thing." They tried, "Do not spit here, do not this thing." Then they put something religious over there, and people stopped doing that. And that was a very, very good thing. But then again, we must understand the very fact that any illegal construction anywhere, firstly, it should not be allowed. Whenever it's allowed to happen, it builds up, and then there is a lot of heartburn and blood burn, and so no one has the right to take law in the hand. If people do
Right.
law to
Right,
and
absolutely.
such things,
Absolutely.
I'll just
Yeah.
quickly conclude.
Quickly, I'll come back to you. Advocate Ellen Rao, there has been a third aspect now that has been raised by another politician. Asaduddin Owaisi now comes out and says that the court judgment itself was wrong because court was not intimated about the actual situation on the ground, that this was a Waqf land. There was in 1947 there was a mosque that had been erected on this land. So there was a mosque that previously existed on this land. It said that this is Waqf land, and therefore what right does the government authorities have in raising the structures that have been erected. Could you please explain to us the situation that we are in and how to deal with it?
Good evening, Megha, to my co-panelists and to all your viewers. And really, today's incident, which has been reported in all media, is very unfortunate, and it is to be condemned like that. And especially the Owaisi's statement stating that the order of the Honorable High Court is wrong. This is unwarranted, and it's not coming from a very so-called he's claiming himself as a barrister. Because this statement is totally misguiding, because the court has taken all these things, and this case is not from today. It was from years. It was being heard by the years. All the parties were given chances to explain their stand. But after viewing all these circumstances and the documentary evidences, in this case, the Honorable High Court passed the order for demolition of the unauthorized construction, and it was categorically declared that these structures are these unauthorizedly made, and most of these structures were being used as a commercial structures. So the decision of Honorable High Court was justified and very correct. And if there was any because we have our law of land, if there was any ambiguity in that order, there were sufficient time, because this order was not from today. It was in November 25. So if there was something wrong in this order, they have the opposite party were having every right to go to the Supreme Court. They could have filed an SLP, but they did not do so, because they knew that they will be defeating in the Supreme Court also. So by saying all these things, that this is not only the wrong statement of Owaisi, but it is also misguiding and misinterpreting these things among the public. And this is called mischief rumour.
Yeah. Okay. Spreading wrongful information. All right. I also have with me Dr. Sunny Dhiman. Dr. Sunny Dhiman, there has been just a couple of hours ago, a statement that has also been released by Congress leader Salman Khurshid. And he goes on to say that this situation could be handled differently. What do you mean a situation such as this, where the court ordered action being taken by the MCD in raising illegal construction on that piece of land could be handled differently?
Good evening, everyone, and strong condemnation of this violence, first of all. And secondly, I just need to put a few facts straight. According to the Mosque Committee or the Waqf Committee, they are not defending the encroachment. They are saying that they were protecting, quote unquote, their graveyard. Their only concern was this. And also they moved to Delhi High Court, which issued notice to MCD and Waqf and others, saying the case required consideration. And before that case could be considered, रात के अंधेरे में Delhi police along with MCD, they executed this. And let me tell you something which nobody is telling. Yes, there was fear mongering, which is wrong, but that fear mongering has begun from hate mongering. And let me give you a very naive question. For last 2 years, I know that in India there are so many places where illegal encroachment has been done by so many people from so many communities, but all I'm hearing mostly is around a particular community. Have you ever heard
that's not true?
That's
not true. Let's also not peddle misinformation. That's not true. There are demolitions, raising of building structures happen everywhere in the country. Everywhere in Delhi. It's not just the mosques or areas around the mosques or graveyards that have been touched, that have been specifically targeted. So let's not, what actually happens is that every single time there is a demolition or encroachments, illegal encroachments are removed by the municipal corporation or by the government, which is also a court-ordered action that has been taken. There is rioting, there is destruction of property. Such untoward incidents end up taking place. So let's not convolute it and put the onus on certain section of the people in the community who are being quote unquote targeted according to you? Because that's
No,
not
first of
happening.
all,
Why,
no.
why don't you open the books of
I'm
the
just asking
MCD
you,
and
I'm
check
just
the
asking
areas
you
where
very
demolitions have taken
straightforward
place? And
question.
how many of these
No, I'm just
areas
asking
where
you.
mosques and
I'm
graveyards
just
are
asking.
present in Delhi where
You
demolitions have
can shout.
taken place? So let's
No,
not
you can shout.
give it a communal
You
angle.
are not.
Let's
No,
not
it's
paint
not
a
communal
picture
language. It's a nice
which is
question.
away
It's a
from
nice
the
question.
truth.
Have you ever seen? Have you ever seen the law enforcement agencies capturing the property of Nirav Modi, Malia, Mehul Choksi? Ever?
I mean, I don't know.
Ever?
I don't even know how to
I
make
don't know who they
I don't
are.
even know
No,
how to
I
have
don't
a
know who they
conversation with
are.
you. You at this point of time, you at this point
They
of
have
time are making
crores and crores of
absurd
rupee of
arguments.
Bharat.
You at this point of
They
time
have crores and
are
crores of
making an
rupee.
accusation and
Only,
putting
only the
misinformation
poor, only the
without having
poor,
any knowledge,
only the
without
poor of
having
this
any
nation
facts,
will face
without
the
having
wrath
any
of the law.
documents to prove
Only the
that
poor
the
of this nation will
MCD
face the
actually
wrath of the
targets
law, whereas
areas, locations
the
which
richer,
are
the richer
being
will not be
occupied by
mentioned. They are
mosques
the new
and
Voldemorts.
graveyards. SP,
They
where
are the
I'll come
new
to you.
Voldemorts.
How do you, so now that's what I'm talking about, that there is this misinformation, rumors that are spread by people like Sunny Diman who make claims that demolitions and encroachments are removed by the MCD or other municipalities or other government agencies only when there are mosques or graveyards that are built in the area, which means there is this communal angle to it. There is targeting, forceful targeting of the Muslim community across the country. How do you have to react to this?
You are asking me?
Yeah.
I don't think that is true. Before the honorable court, all religions are equal, and once the court issues the order, court takes all the facts into account. And Ramlila ground is the heart of Delhi, and the land is so expensive. How can you build diagnostic center? How can you build, even if land there was no structure, land was open? Can you on the government land throw marriage parties? What to talk of Delhi? I stay here in Jammu. There is a lot of government land around. Can I put my system there and start earning money out of it? It's not allowed. So you have to seek permission of the government if it is government land. So I think court must have taken all facts into consideration before issuing the order, and that's why the demolition was undertaken. And anybody taking law into its hand should be dealt with strictly under the law of the land. And there's no distinction between any community, Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, Isai, whoever is there.
Yeah.
He or she, yes, encroachment by anybody, whether it's temple, mosque, gurdwara, I don't think it should be spared. But laxity, as Mr. Ali Shah was mentioning, the officers at the lower level, how do they allow such illegal constructions coming up? And I think there should be inquiry against people who were there in position when these structures came up. They should be penalized. Just demolition should not be the answer. Yes.
Okay. Major Ali Shah, quickly a response from you before I go to the rest of the guests. Why does this sentiment continue to prevail? Like Sunny Diman said, that only mosques and graveyards and Muslims are being targeted.
Well, it is, see, I will just tell you, Megha, the Joint Commissioner of Police Central Range, Madhur Verma, he had said the anti-encroachment drive was carried out pursuant to the directions of the Honorable High Court of Delhi. So now the court ruling, however, it can be challenged, but it should be honored firstly, and thereafter it could be challenged in a higher court. So that, which means that ample time should be given for the judgment to be challenged. It's not that only mosques and graveyards are targeted, but what he was, I get his point. What he was trying to say perhaps would be that why are the rich, it's not about the religious thing, not about the communal angle. Why are the privileged lot not targeted? Why are the underprivileged targeted? Perhaps, if I'm not mistaken, he might have meant that perhaps. No, it is unfortunate in our country that wherever the privileged ones are, the rich and famous, the powerful ones are not touched. But the poor, underprivileged, helpless, have you ever seen two big powers fighting? They do not. So it is the weak who are downtrodden, who are oppressed. Now, who is the weak and who is the oppressed? It is those who are lesser educated. And who is lesser educated? When you are less educated, when you're weak, you would be bullied. The only remedy for this is education. When you are educated, you can stand tall, irrespective of any caste.
I'm talking about this. I'm talking about this particular situation. I don't know how this action of the MCD was akin to bullying or intimidation.
No, see, the MTD workers and the police was only following orders and directions. So my appeal to the people who protested and who did stone pelting is, do not take law in your hands, because आप तो भाग जाओगे पत्थर फेंक के. You will run away. Police has to make arrest. FIR has to be lodged, and action has to be taken. The innocent, a suspect. I was watching a video of a person. Apparently, he was saying, I don't know what's truth, and it's a matter of inquiry. But he was saying he's going to buy medicine and he's been caught. Because those who take law in their hands will ultimately run away. Somebody will be caught. Why would the protesters want an innocent to be caught? They apparently there were politicians over there who were also trying to invoke passions and who were flaring up the protests. So I would firstly advise, wherever you see a politician, irrespective of whichever party the politician is, please keep an arms, please keep away from there.
Okay.
And keep out of trouble.
Okay,
Yes,
all right. Advocate Ellen Rao, now the situation such as this, where police has been targeted, there are people that have been arrested, how do we ensure there is, such incidents, incidents of violence, destruction of property, attacking enforcement authorities, enforcement officers does not take place? Should there an example be set?
Yes, Megha, definitely the police should have set an example, and they tried their best. Before getting into this operation, they had a meeting with the stakeholders, and they were made convinced, and more than 99% people having this illegal construction, they were informed, and they were convinced that it is illegal, and they agreed that it should be done. But for future, it should be that at least police should identify the mischief mongers who want to create problem to the police and the functioning of the MCD and police in such matters. They should identify, and then the preventive measures should be taken against them, and that intelligence input should be increased in such type of cases. Before that police has a mechanism to find out what is going on among the people, and what people are thinking, what they are preparing for that, because so much of stones in that area, definitely without collecting those stones, that cannot be thrown on the police and the MCD people. So definitely some people might have been collecting these stones, and this type of information that people are trying to resist the police action, MCD action, that should have been in the knowledge of police priorly, so that these things can be prevented in future as well.
Okay.
And I think that investigation is going on, and after completion of this investigation, all these things will come out within the public domain.
Okay, all right. I'm out of time. I thank all of you for joining me on the telecast, sharing your views on the subject. I'll take a short break. Thanks for watching.